What's up, Patreon? It's time to talk Raw, and the show opens up with the Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman contract signing, and Michael Cole is the host. And Seth says that they're going to tag together at Clash of the Champions, and they'll beat Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, but then he's going to burn it down on Braun. And then Braun says that they will beat Roode and Ziggler at Clash of Champions, but he's going to win the match. How about that? Couldn't imagine either of them saying this here. Then Rollins says he slayed the beast, and now he's going to slay the monster. This is so generic, man. Like, seriously. So Rollins signs the contract. Then before Braun gets to sign, the club comes out. Michael Cole, for some reason, starts, "Hey, AJ, you guys aren't supposed to be out here. This isn't about you." So AJ says he should have been first in line to get a shot at the Universal Championship and not Braun. And he wants to know who he's supposed to be facing as U.S. Champion at Clash of Champions anyway. And he says, he'll just walk around and see who looks at his belt, and that's who he'll be facing. It's funny how self-aware they are, because they're having him say this because that's what Braun did to Seth, right? He looked at his belt and got a match. That's every single storyline you guys do. Nakamura walks up, taps Finn Balor's belt on his shoulder. They have a match. Ali looks at Nakamura's belt. They have a match. This is every freaking title program you guys do. They are so, not self-aware at all. So AJ says if the club doesn't get what they want, then nobody will. So they get in the ring, and AJ tears up the contract before Braun signs it. So then Seth and Braun beat up all three of them, and we come back from commercial, and there's a tag match, of course. Rollins and Strowman versus Gallows and Anderson, non-title. Rollins pins Anderson. AJ attacks after the match. Strowman makes the save. He takes everyone else out, accidentally takes out Seth Rollins. Of course he does. They can never, ever, ever do this, where people are going to be fighting each other for the title, and then they're partners and one accidentally hits the other every single freaking time. So now Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler come out and attack, and they have a 5-on-2 beatdown that went on forever. This is how they fill time. They can't fill time with stories. They just have long, overdone assaults that just go on forever and are meaningless. So Strowman and Rollins get beat down by the 5 of these guys. Do they look for retribution later in the show? No, of course not. Why would they? So Charlie's with Cedric Alexander, and she asks him about preparing for Baron Corbin tonight in King of the Ring, but then the OC attack him for absolutely zero reason. And at this point, you could hear the air go out of the crowd, because it is here that they realized that Baron Corbin was going to win later on tonight. But why'd the OC attack Cedric Alexander? No reason. So then we have a tag match. Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode versus Hawkins and Ryder, and Roode and Ziggler go over to show you what an awesome tag team they are, so you think they can win the titles at the pay-per-view. Lacey Evans versus Natalya is next. This was weird. Natalya's a babyface now, right? So Lacey Evans is doing her entrance, and Natalya comes out and attacks her during the entrance. Whatever. Lacey Evans goes over. Let me tell you guys something. Lacey Evans, I swear she gets sexier every week. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. There's money on this girl. She's smoking. So Becky Lynch has an in-ring, and she says what Sasha said last week was a load of crap. And she talks about how Sasha was main eventing everything while she was struggling for TV time, and she calls Sasha a delusional little weirdo. Great dialogue there. She says it has to hurt that Bayley's been just fine without her, and that Sasha should have been what Becky has become now. So she challenges Sasha, and Sasha comes out and says, I should be you. The only reason that Becky got main events and magazine covers was because Nia Jax broke her face. Well, how? That doesn't even make any sense. If you're going to have a heel say something like that, at least have it make sense. Nia Jax broke her face, so Becky main evented? No. So Becky wants to fight her now, and of course, because Sasha's a heel now, she says, no, I'm not going to do it in front of these people for free. I do it on my time. She says she'll fight her at Clash of Champions for the women's title, and Becky accepts her challenge because wrestlers book their own matches here. They make their own matches. So then the Street Profits, this was so dumb. At least they only had one dumb segment tonight. They cut to them, and they're making stupid faces, and they say, what are we supposed to say to that? And the other one goes, go to commercial in 3, 2, 1. And then they go to commercial. Who thinks this is creative? Who thinks this is funny? This is stupid. So then Baron Corbin versus Cedric Alexander, King of the Ring match. Baron Corbin over, to the dismay of all the marks out there. Charlie's with Bayley, asks her if she's talked to Sasha. She says of course she has. She's her best friend, but she's not going to get into it because it's personal. Charlie asks her if she's being overshadowed by Becky going into their tag team match tonight. And Bayley says no, and at the end of the night, we'll see who's standing in whose shadow. So there's a little foreshadowing there. So the Viking Raiders versus Jobbers, and Charlie interviews the Jobbers. Why? Why are these two people that are not on the roster getting microphone time, getting TV time, while other people on the roster sit at home and are unused? It's so stupid. Okay, yeah, we're going to keep doing the Viking Raiders versus Jobbers, and we're going to interview the Jobbers like we did with Braun Strowman. Like, what? Why should anybody care about the Viking Raiders? What is the point of this? So Sarah's with Sasha Banks and asks her because Bayley's teaming with Becky later, and she doesn't, and her issues with Becky, if she's going to be rooting for her best friend Bayley to win tonight or not. And so Sasha screams right in her face, "Get the hell out of my face." Okay. So Samoa Joe versus Ricochet, King of the Ring match. This was so stupid. Joe got busted open somehow. I couldn't figure it out. I don't know if one of Ricochet's punches busted him open. I couldn't see anything. But anyway, Ricochet climbs to the top rope. Joe's up there, gets a coquina clutch on him. Ricochet passes out and then wakes up and hits a move. This was so phony looking. Like, seriously. It was terrible. So he falls backwards with Joe, whatever that move's supposed to be, just a bump off the top rope, and now Joe's knocked out too. So they're both knocked out. They both got one arm on each other. The ref counts a double pin, and then he gets on the headset like this is frickin' baseball umpires calling New York for the replay, and we hear this stupid fake conversation. Okay, yeah, did you see it? Yeah, both guys get the pin. Okay, I'll take that under advisement. And so then he says, we'll make a ruling soon, and walks off. This is so stupid. Why is he calling somebody if they're not making the rule for him? I'll take that under advisement. What are you calling somebody for? Make the decision. You're the one that counted the pin, right? Restart the match or forfeit or whatever, right? What do they normally do in this situation? So then Joe lays out Ricochet after. Got to fill that TV time with some fighting. Ricochet fights back. So then we get Rollins and Strowman backstage. Completely don't care that 5 guys jumped him earlier in the night. Strowman's upset because they announced that Stone Cold's going to be moderating their re-contract signing next week because Stone Cold did that Skype call with Michael Cole and he was putting over Seth Rollins and now he's hosting the contract signing, and Rollins is like, you think me and Stone Cold are setting you up? Like, this was so bad. This is so bad. So terrible. Why would Strowman care? Why would Strowman think that Seth Rollins and Stone Cold Steve Austin are setting him up for a beatdown? So stupid. So Braun tells Seth if Austin gets in his face, he's going to get these hands. Okay. Like, this show is terrible. So then we get a Firefly Funhouse. They really need to go back to the house. Because, like, doing it in front of this blue wall is so phony looking. It just takes you out of the moment. Like, they need to go back into this house. So Happy Bray apologizes to Finn Balor for what the Fiend did to him. Said it was rude. And he's sorry. So then the Vince McMahon puppet pops up and asks Bray how dare he challenges Seth or Braun to Hell in a Cell. When did he do this? If he did this, I missed it. Totally missed it. When did he challenge them to Hell in a Cell? I know, like, the arena spoiled it, put out a ticket announcement, but did they actually do it on TV? Because if they did, I missed it. So anyway, he starts feeding the puppet $100 bills. The puppet passes out, and then he talks about friends and how his friends help him, but then the Fiend helps him inflict pain, and he says, I'll see you in hell. So I guess he's challenging Braun or Seth, whoever wins, to Hell in a Cell. I don't know. This one wasn't very good. I feel like that outside of the house, doing it on the WWE terms, I just feel like there's a lot less creativity here than the ones we saw at the beginning. It's like it's become wrestling storyline now. So Corey Graves interviews the ref from the Samoa Joe and Ricochet match, asks him what the decision is. Baron Corbin comes in and says the decision is they're both eliminated and that he'll get a bye. And the ref says no, that the WWE management decided that they both advance and they'll be in a triple threat next week against Baron. What? They both pin each other, so they both advance? If that's the rule, why aren't people just letting each other pin each other all the time so they all move on? Like, that's the rule. It's a tournament. Both people move on, Makes no sense. This is so stupid. So Charlie's with Rey Mysterio, and this was such a long-ass promo just for him to rehash that his kid talked him out of retiring. That's all it was. We saw it, right? Dominic came in, talked him out of it. All right, I'm not going to retire. He just repeats the whole thing to Charlie. Nothing new came out of this. So then Miz versus Cesaro for no reason. Miz goes over. And it's time for the main event. Becky Lynch and Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Non-title. Sasha comes out during the match to watch. The match goes on for a while. And then it's a DQ because Sasha gets in the ring and attacks Becky. Sasha grabs a chair, starts beating Becky with a chair again. So Bayley rips the chair out of Sasha's hands and stood there for way too long, telegraphed this entire thing. Whoever didn't see this coming, I don't know how you didn't. But anyway, she's staring at Sasha, staring at the chair, looking at Becky. So then she smiles at Sasha and then starts beating on Becky with the chair. So it looks like Bayley's turned heel here, beating up Becky with the chair. And this is how you know that Becky is not over as a babyface. Or the crowd's complete morons. The crowd's chanting yes, 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 as Bayley's beating Becky with the chair. Well, I thought the man was the number one babyface in this company. Why are these idiot marks cheering for Bayley beating her up with a chair if she's so over as a babyface? So she's not as over as a babyface as everybody thinks she is, and these idiot marks are cheering booking decisions. They turned Bayley heel. They're cheering that, instead of whoever's supposed to be their favorite, Becky, getting beat up with a chair. So this tells me they're either already getting sick of Becky. Becky was never as over as they thought to begin with, or these idiots are just happy that Bayley turned heel, which shouldn't matter if Becky's as over as a babyface as she's supposed to be. But another crap show, guys. This Heyman era is really taking off, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, everybody's so excited. Paul Heyman's in charge of Raw now. Things are going to start to pick up. Yeah, all right, sure. Same crap we've always been seeing. Tier 2, I thank you for your support. I suffer for you. Don't watch this show. I do it for you. I suffer for you because you guys support me here. I appreciate it. I will see you on the next episode here on Patreon with the SmackDown review. Take care.